Hi everyone, I hope you're well. This is CoinsKid. Just going to dive into Bitcoin. Big up the CoinsKid crew, okay? Thank you for your support across the channel. So right now, Bitcoin sort of lackluster here, isn't it? It's a bit boring, a bit crabby, a bit sideways. I am anticipating some kind of low coming in relatively soon because of the def cost. And historically, you know, it's always been an indication of a cycle low. For example, if we put the Bitcoin super cycle on, that I've shown you before, when this on the let me go to the daily time frame right now for you. I can show you. So this red moving average here, sorry, I do apologize, this blue line here, this blue line and this dark blue line, when they cross, that indicates a cycle low. It always has, okay? There or thereabouts. It's always very, very close, and it's always a fantastic level to just enter Bitcoin, accumulate Bitcoin for the next ramp up, which is what we're all expecting, isn't it? And all hopeful for of this correction once it's done, you know. And like I said to you, you would expect to come up impulsively from coming down, just like I was saying here, and then it started to come up. Everyone thought it was a genius, but it's just charting, it's just technical analysis, and you know, when you're coming down and everyone's expecting continuation, you do usually retrace. And at this point, you know, we got overextended, we beat the high. Everyone got really, really bullish, and then we've come back in for this correction, okay? And the same here, you get really overextended, too far away from the EMAs, and then you come back down, and that's what it does. Market moves in waves. You get too overextended, you come back down, hold support, continuation. Fall through this support, and you're looking at a deeper retracement to where you came from. In this instance here, this is where you came from, and you've actually come up, and you've retraced a lot deeper. You've pierced this level of support here for me. So this wave here, this is a very, very powerful wave down. In my opinion, I think this is coming some kind of big third wave, basically. Now the question is it done? You know, is it done? Is this still part of this third wave where it comes down like this and comes up and capitulates down there? Who knows? No one's got a crystal ball, but one thing I'm looking for here is that the indicators to flash. Okay, there's your cycle top of the Pi cycle top or the Bitcoin cycle top indicator. When you get your red line cross the dark red line just there, that's your cycle top. Boom, you can see. Fantastic area to just exit Bitcoin last year, okay, and then ride the correction basically. With that, you know, you come down, you held this, and you come back up, and you put in this large ABC flat correction, in my opinion, so far. So what I think is happening right here for Bitcoin at the minute, given the fact that this light blue line and this dark blue line are about to cross, is I think the low is extremely close. Possibly sometime next week we're going to sort of rally into this and come back down, and a bit lackluster. And you know, there's absolutely zero guarantees here, because we could actually invalidate this by slingshotting up right now. This could be your low, you're coming back, you're holding support, and then you break out here, you know, and everyone expecting a dip down here doesn't get it. You know, even myself, I'm waiting for a dip down here right now, because historically this is what Bitcoin's always done, but there's no guarantees. We could absolutely melt out here, melt faces, okay, and the correction's in. Now I'm going to show you something that I expect going forward. If this is a correction in, okay, I would anticipate wherever the low is, whether it's there, it's here, or wherever, as long as we don't lose that structural support, and that key support I've shown you is the monthly 55 EMA. We're not losing it yet, you know, and for me that's your ultimate bull market support, okay, the 55 EMA. It shows that, you know, if you start to lose that, you're losing historical structure that Bitcoin's never lost or fallen under, and turn it into resistance, which is extremely negative for Bitcoin, because at that point, you know, all sort of charting and historical data is out the window, in my opinion. But again, you know, nothing to say is financial advice. So if we move to the left here, you can see that when this light blue line here crossed this dark blue line, boom, it was just cycle bottom. Okay, and if we move to the left again, can we get it on this chart on a bit stamp? Yeah, you can see just there we got the cross just there, and you can see it wasn't actually quite the low. It's just there before one more dip, but it was very, very close. And this is what I say to you about, you know, picking bottoms and timing bottoms. It's very difficult. There's no guarantees. So, you know, given the historical data that we're almost crossing like that, the low is always usually there or thereabouts. So right now we did conform to this top there. We did conform to that low just there, okay, and again, if we move here, we did conform to this top just there, and we conform to that low just there. So we've done something twice historically here for Bitcoin. Why would it not do it again? Because it has, in effect, done it already here. Create your cycle top, fantastic area to just get out your altcoins, basically, if you're in altcoins. Some came down and broke the high, okay, that's true, granted. Some went on to make a higher high, and that is part of this sort of big expanded flat irregular ABC correction that I think Bitcoin's in. You know, there's a video out from Alessio Rastani yesterday, I think it is, that he says that whenever you have a wave 2 sharp correction, you always increase the probability of putting in a flat correction for wave 4, and vice versa. If wave 2 is a flat correction, which, you know, I personally think that wave 4 is right now, then you increase the possibility of wave 4 being a zigzag zigzag correction or some kind of sharp correction basically. So you can see here, in my opinion, this is an ABC zigzag correction of wave 2, and right now this is an expanded flat irregular correction of wave 4, and I've been screaming this the whole time. You're in a corrective phase of a bull market, and at this moment right now you're almost printing this death cross, okay, which signifies historically a fantastic area to get involved with Bitcoin. Is there any guarantees to it? Absolutely zero. And like I said to you, if Bitcoin starts to come down, hits its head and does something like that, please think about your position in crypto, because I can't put my finger on the bottom, okay? Because at that point you're losing structure, you're losing support, all data's out the window. The only key support for me would obviously be that previous swing high, which is the all-time high just there, okay, which you've never fallen back to in a bull market. You've never fallen back to the previous all-time high, the previous bull market. But you know, there's a first time for everything, isn't there? One thing, a massive level of support for me would have to be this high, because like I said to you, this invalidates your Elliott wave theory. So if ever you see Bitcoin trading below that high there of around about $14,000, jump ship, okay? And again, nothing I say is financial advice or things for educational entertainment purposes only. There's absolutely zero guarantees. So I did say to you, what do I expect going forward? So for example, this low is so close, isn't it? You know, the cycle low. We've equally got the 20 EMA on the weekly time frame crossing which it has this week, and historically that week or the week after has always been the low of a correction for Bitcoin. Does it have to do it again? Of course it doesn't, okay? You fully understand this, and nothing I say is financial advice. Everything's for educational entertainment purposes only. So what do I expect if we have lowballed out and we print this, okay? Let's say, for example, this comes in and it is a low, and this is an ABC correction, and CoinsKid's right, okay? And all of this time has been a big expanded flat correction, and you're missing this final wave, this impulsive move for Bitcoin, taking you up to them targets, taking you up to that logarithmic growth chart. Let me show you right now what I'm looking at for Bitcoin as well, is to get to this red band. We got to it there in that cycle, we got to it here in this cycle, and we didn't necessarily get to it in this cycle because I personally think that we're in an extended cycle, sorry, which I do think we'll get to this at some point in the future, whether or not it's next year or whenever. I do expect us in this impulse that's coming to get to there. So what would I expect to happen here for Bitcoin? Well, if I take a look at the Elliott wave theory here, you can see that I think personally you're somewhere around there like that. You're coming back in wave 4 and it's nearing completion, okay, for wave 4, just there. That's what I think. So I think that once the low's in, and you know, you could say, okay, well, as soon as that crosses, and as soon as we get the 20 EMA crossing the 100 week moving average, that should cross as well, which we're getting, and usually a week later the low's in. So down here somewhere is a fantastic entry point for Bitcoin. Again, no guarantees, okay? But if that is the case and the correction's over, what can we expect going forward for Bitcoin? And in my opinion, looking at this Elliott wave structure here, I would anticipate something like this for Bitcoin. You know, potential retest of this high, get rejected, coming for a wave 2. Everyone thinks you're in a bear market at that point. Then you get that big powerful wave 3 that doesn't quite take you to the top of this band up here somewhere, wherever it is. Then you get your pullback, and then you get your blow off top, your wave 5, your mania phase of a bull run, and you're all the way up there, you know, sometime next year, leading to the end of next year. And at that point, I would not necessarily want to be at crypto. And you know, whenever you get to the top of this band, it could get overextended. It might not even get there, but if it does, I would sincerely think about your position if you do start to hit the top of this band in the future, okay, for Bitcoin. So that's basically Bitcoin. You know, nothing I say is financial advice. I hope you enjoyed this journey together that we've all been on, and you know, and I'll keep making these videos. It's very difficult making content and thinking of content, you know, bullish or bearish every day. It's quite tiresome. I do need to get more into the trading side of it for you, okay, and try and show you some ins and outs of trading instead of talking about the macro stuff all the time for Bitcoin. But hopefully this all works out, okay, and we're all going to sort of ride this next wave up together, because it would have been so fantastic if I was making videos at this point, you know, because I'm literally saying the same thing I would have been saying just there. You're at the end of this correction, you know, you've got coming up, you're breaking an impulse to the upside, you break that high, you're looking at 60k, 69 Bitcoin target right there, and that's exactly what it got, okay? So enjoy the journey, everybody. Remember, there's no guarantees, and remember one thing: millionaires are made in big corrections, okay, and bear markets. Do you understand? So buy the blood, buy the fear. But again, nothing I say is financial advice. Take care, everyone. Back soon with another update on Bitcoin. Stay tuned. Bye bye.